This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com with a friendly reminder. Don't forget to hit the bell. That's right, folks. If you're wondering why you're never getting those new video notifications from the Anti-COINTELPRO Show that I upload numerous every single solitary day, it's because you forgot to hit the bell. The bell I'm referring to is that little Google bell right beside the subscribe button. So right after you hit the subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. And when you hit the bell, you will receive the daily new video notifications from the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. This is Joe Wayne. Good day. And enjoy your video. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. First and foremost, I would like to say I wish each and every one of you had the very best and Merry Christmas that you could have wished for. You know, I know that I did. Thank you, Donald John Trump, and all of the Trumpsters that went out amid all of the hate and violence and ridicule and did your job. Thank you. I knew that you would. That being said, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to give everyone a shot of cold water to the face. Yep, a hard slap of reality this morning. Now, right off the bat, I'm not making any judgments about our president, Donald J. Trump. I am simply making the black and white blood relationship between each and every one of the ruling elite, starting with Julia and Julius Caesar in 52 BC, and ending with our very own alpha lion leader of the West, President-elect Donald J. Trump. That's right, folks. You know, the video you're about to watch is a compilation of two videos that I dropped in 2015. More specifically, on April 22nd of 2015, I dropped these pair of videos. Now, the first video, of course, was dealing with the mother. Well, first, of course, they were the sister and brother that became the father and mother of the New World Order. And that, of course, again, was the incestuous brother and sister pair of the Roman imperial elite, right? Julia and Julius Caesar. Now, what you're going to look at are the genealogy charts. Now, they're akin to something like Ancestry.com, but a lot more detailed, okay? Now, these genealogy charts, a lot of them have been kept by the ruling elite themselves. So this is nothing that's actually hidden. It's just something that's not talked about. You know, like that weird uncle they always talk about and refer to, but no one talks about. I don't know how that works. But at any rate, please stick through to the end of the video, because at the end of the video you are going to get some earth-shattering information, right? That connects our own President-elect Donald J. Trump to each and every ruling elite from the time of Julia and Julius Caesar to today. That being said, please enjoy the video. And again, don't fast forward and stick around to the end, because at the end of the video, you're going to get the information that I promised that ties this entire New World Order that is nothing but an old world order, right? Since around at least 52 BC to today. That being said, this is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. Enjoy your video.
I believe we, and particularly you, your class, has an incredible window of opportunity to lead in shaping a new world order.
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
Then the problem of the Bush presidency will be the emergence of a new international order.
Within the next 4 years, we will see the emergence of a new international order.
The beginning of a new international order.
The pieces are in flux. Soon they will settle again. Before they do, let us reorder this world around us.
But today, with Asia already outproducing Europe, India and China are clearly becoming part of our new order.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
So I see a world order in the future with a multipolar world order.
But in a globalized economy, we are going to have to take global responsibilities, and there is going to have to be some semblance of global governance.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions, or on so global a scale.
I strongly believe India will be a central actor in the new world order.
There also exists an extraordinary opportunity to form for the first time in history a truly global society.
New World Order is the headline in the Globe and Mail in Canada.
Is this global governance at last? Is it one world, the central bankers in charge? But aren't we all just living and dying for what the central banks do?
Of course we are. We are absolutely slaves to central banks.
This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show, and today I am going to reveal to everyone watching and listening to this broadcast the hidden hand. This hidden hand is the hand behind every single world leader in the United Kingdom and the United States of America. Now, kind of funny, you know, I was reading my horoscope this morning, and it was dead on. My horoscope said that I would be given a truth, a very deep truth, and I would have to decide what to do with it. I am a Gemini, born May 30th, 1966. So if you want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, today is April 22nd of 2015. You can go ahead and verify what my horoscope did indeed tell me today and tell you all that are Geminis. So, moving on. When I was walking this morning, I was thinking about world leaders. But what I was thinking about was the Khazars and King Bulan. So, I was researching the bloodline of King Bulan. Well, lo and behold, what did I find? Not a whole lot of information about the bloodline of King Bulan, but what I did find is about to blow your mind. I did, in fact, find the hidden hand, the founder of the New World Order, and it was not the Bavarian Adam Weishaupt. No, it wasn't that guy. And we'll go back to that in just a few seconds. But what led me on this path is I was reading an article from August 5th, 2012. And this article was pertaining to the lineage of every single U.S. president. Every single one, including Barack Hussein Obama, save one. So all but one U.S. president descended from one individual. And this individual is King John of England. So I, wanted to know where King John came from. As I was searching his lineage, well, I was more than taken aback to find that his lineage and the lineage of literally every single United Kingdom ruler comes but from one matriarch. And surprise, 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 this matriarch was none other but one Julia, sister of Julius Caesar. Julia, born 52 BC, sister of Julius Caesar, emperor, sole consul 49 BC, dictator 46 BC, imperator and pontifex Maximus 45 BC, assassinated on the day the Senate was to offer him the title Rex 44 BC. So Julius Caesar and his sister Julia founded a new world order in 42 BC. So this new world order was not founded in the 16th or 17th century. No. It goes back much further. This is the hidden hand that controls literally every United Kingdom ruler and every single United States president from the beginning. Going back to King John. King John was the ruler of England and Lord of Ireland from 1199 to 1216. Brother of Richard I Lionheart, who begat Henry III, who begat Edward I, our King Longshanks. And if King Longshanks sounds familiar, folks, you probably remember him being the arch nemesis to Braveheart, William Wallace in the movie Braveheart. Well, Edward begat Edward II. Edward II, Prince of Wales, 1284 to 1301, begat Edward III, King of England and Lord of Ireland, 1327 to 1377. So we move on and we move on and we move on until we get to Queen Victoria, Queen of Britain and Ireland, 1837 to 1901. Added the title Empress in 1876. So Victoria begat Edward. Edward the King begat George the King. And George the King begat another George Albert, which begat Elizabeth II, the current reigning monarch of the United Kingdom. So this is the hidden hand. And I will, of course, as I always do, leave links to every single solitary document, because you should not only trust me, but as one infamous leader, Ronald Reagan, used to say, trust but verify. Well, we should have verified his allegiance to the country before he did the original amnesty and started this country on a downward death spiral that has continued and just about destroyed us as a country, with our current supposed leader doing literally everything he can to destroy us from within. This is the hidden hand, folks. Now you know where the New World Order came from. Now you know where literally every single solitary ruler of the United Kingdom, and not only the United Kingdom, folks, because these people have one sequential bloodline, starting from, in my summation, the Sumerians that evolved into the Babylonians, and this is the leadership that I'm talking about now. The Babylonians evolved into the leaders of the slaves in Egypt. The elite in Egypt evolved and migrated to Rome. And that's where we pick up this story with of literally every single solitary ruler of Rome from 52 BC, as well as the United Kingdom, as well as the United States of America, knowing that their bloodlines are kept within their own inbred family members. Just like the Rothschild clan will not allow any outsiders to join their banking cartel. Of course, the J.P. Morgan Chases of the world all have to marry into the family, and then they are let into the banking cartel. J.P. Morgan Chase being the largest bank in the United States of America. And of course, every single solitary leader, and I use that word very, very sparingly, because these people are not really leaders. They are merely placeholders for the next inbred family member. Okay? So if you don't realize yet why every world leader has such a sick psychopathic personality, it's because they start off that way with an inbred family. An inbred bloodline that has started from the time of the ancient Sumerians, which is a hypothesis that I have basically worked out from all of the research that I have done. But the one thing is not a hypothesis. This is completely confirmed and verifiable. I will leave you the information so that you can go through the entire genealogy as I have. And you too will now know where the New World Order came from. As they say, folks, everything old is new again. Well, that is indeed true in this instance, because the New World Order is nothing new. It's been around since at least 52 BC, with the birth of Julia, sister of Julius Caesar, the founder of the New World Order. And then old is new again. Well, that is indeed true in this instance, because the New World Order is nothing new. It's been around since at least 52 BC, with the birth of Julia, sister of Julius Caesar, the founder of the New World Order. And then of every single solitary world leader since at least 52 BC of Rome, and then the United Kingdom, and then of course the United States of America. So this is the hidden hand that is controlling us all. Now that you know the truth, please get this truth out far and wide so they can no longer hide. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show. Good day. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show. And this is Mother of the New World Order, Part 2, the Khazar Connection. And if you remember, if you watched the previous video, the predecessor, Part 1 of this two-part miniseries, then you will remember that what got me started on this whole unraveling of the world ruling system, the hidden hand that rules us all, was my wish to uncover and unravel the Zionist Khazar bloodline of King Bulan. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Yesterday, if you remember correctly, we first associated or related every single U.S. president to the one before him and after him. And the way we did this is there was an article that was written by a 12-year-old little girl, apparently, and it was a school project. But she successfully related every single president to one single ancestor, and that would be one King John of England. So what I did was I wanted to figure out where did King John come from and who was he related to? Well, King John, of course, and Queen Elizabeth, the current ruling matriarch, the monarch of England, well, all of them, every single one of them, started from one single solitary source, and that would be the mother of the New World Order. This was Julia Caesaris, sister of Julius Caesar. And she apparently died on 52 BC. And her brother, Julius Caesar, was a triumvir, 60 BC, sole consul, 49 BC, dictator, 46 BC, emperor and pontifex Maximus, 45 BC. And he was assassinated on the day the Senate was to offer him the title Rex in 44 BC. Now, he founded, and she founded, by her bloodline, a new world order. And of course, Julius Caesar was deified in 42 BC. Now, moving on down the Roman branches of this genealogical tree, we will go on down the line, and here you will come to the 15th branch of the tree, Commodus Pomponius. And if that name looks familiar, well, that was the arch nemesis of the Gladiator in the movie The Gladiator that was very popular a few years ago. And Russell Crowe, of course, played the lead part of the Gladiator. And Mr. Phoenix, the not so likable one, the rogue of the family, he, of course, played the part of Commodus Pomponius, who murdered his father to take over his rule. So going on down and down the Roman branches of the tree. The 35th branch of the tree, you have Charles Martel, Duke of France. And this is where France joined with the New World Order, and this is when they married into the family business, so to speak, of the New World Order and the world ruling elite. Because just as the Rothschilds do, to get into this club, this world domination club, you have to marry in. On 37, you remember the very popular figure of Charlemagne, going down the tree and down the tree and down the tree. Of course, we come to the 48th branch of the tree. And this tree, I believe, this branch of the tree is where the nation of England married into the family business with William the Conqueror. And he was the King of England in 1066 and died in 1087. Wow, they really had short lives then, didn't they? Moving on down. Of course, again, you will have John Landless, King of England. And this is the King John that the little girl tied every single U.S. president but one to, being the common ancestor. This is the King John that she was talking about in the article, in the school project. Then, of course, you will have on the 54th branch, King Edward I, Longshanks, and again, he was the arch nemesis of William Wallace. Two very real figures of history that both played in the fictional movie of Braveheart. And moving on down. Of course, Queen Victoria on the 73rd branch of this tree. And she is the great grandmother of the current monarch of the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth. Now, what we're going to do, since we have already related all of these nations of France and England and the Roman empires to one single solitary source, and that would be the mother of the New World Order, Julia Caesaris, the sister of Julius Caesar. Now we're going to tie into, or we're going to see where the Zionist Khazars enter into the family business. And we will do that by traveling on down into line C of the genealogy tree for Julius Caesaris. And going on down line C all the way down to the bottom, you will come to the 31st branch of this line C of the Julia Caesaris genealogical tree. And this branch is Epiphania. The reason this is a very important branch is because this is where the king of the Khazars entered into the world ruling elite family. This is where he married into the family business. And this was Harbarus, king of the Khazars, the first, born in 630 AD, son of Zebul, Tong Yabgul Khan, king of the Turks and the first king of the Khazars, 618 to 627. And if that name Khan sounds vaguely familiar, folks, well, it is because this is where Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan, Attila the Hun, this is where they all come from, because the Khazarian Empire was nestled firmly between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea, on the borders of Turkey and Hungary. This was right there in the Caucasus Mountain regions, okay? So this is where the Mongolians, who were barbarians, if you know your history, and they were mercenaries, this is where the Khazars come from. So we're moving on down to Anastasia, the 32nd branch, queen of the Khazars. Again, another Kagan, which a Kagan is a Khazarian word for king. That's their form of a king. And moving on down, moving on down, moving on down, you will have the 35th branch, Bihar, the 9th king of the Khazars, brother of Bulan, King Bulan, or Chagan, or Kagan Bulan, 8th king of the Khazars. And this is exactly where, and every single one of these bloodlines, where do they start? With Julia Caesaris. Moving on down, moving on down, moving on down, where do they all end? They all end, folks, with Queen Elizabeth. So this is where the Zionist Khazars, and if you know anything about history, folks, you will know that Zionism is not a religion. It is not a race. Zionism is a political agenda. And I have not one single issue with the Khazars. So in 740 AD, they had to leave their homeland and they had to migrate to the Middle East. Well, this is when they decided to call themselves Jewish. They usurped the Jewish religion, the Jewish identity. 90% of world Jewry is now genetically Khazars. They're not Jews. The actual Jews, well, they're not white, folks. They're black. They're Asiatic. But one thing they are of the Jewish sect is actually Khazars. So here is the connection with the New World Order, the Khazar connection. They are all related and come from one source, and that is Julia Caesaris. And they all are related to every single U.S. president and every United Kingdom British monarch and patriarch, and they all land right at the doorstep of Queen Elizabeth, the current monarch of England, or the United Kingdom, if you will. Now, I have to tell you this one thing, folks. I don't have anything against anybody except for a liar, a murderous thug, a pedophile, somebody who uses fear to control. And I can promise you this one thing. If you watched any of my videos before this one, if you watched any of my previous videos, I will never try to control any of the viewers or listeners using fear. I will support every single thing I say with historical documentation, because the only people that would try to control you using the elixir of fear are the same people that have to control people that other ruling parties by knowing their secrets, their deep, dark secrets. And it's actually mutually assured destruction. That's why they all intermarried, and you don't get any political power. You don't get any ruling power in the world if you're not related to this one New World Order family that began in 52 BC with Julius Caesarus and is currently just going crazy today, folks. The main reason that they are just really going off the rails with their false flags is because they're coming to the end of their reign. The last 2,500 years or so, we've been in the age of Pisces. Well, we are now going into the age of Aquarius, and that is an energetic change. Just like the moon affects our tides, every single planetary body that we come in contact in, or even our position within the galaxy, within the greater universe that we all live in, has an effect on us, has an energetic effect on us. So we are going into the age of Aquarius, and that means that they won't be able to lie to us anymore. If you noticed a change, folks, if you noticed people waking up left and right, if you noticed all of these false flags that the New World Order, the ruling elite, the system, the corporate fascist system, has tried to pull from, and I think it began with Sandy Hook, okay? Well, they were routed and outed immediately. They are panicking because they are losing all control of the fear-induced reality that they have forced on us all. The age of Aquarius is upon us, and the age of Pisces is starting to fall behind us and taking their lies and deception and control via fear right along with it. So get a grip on reality, folks. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. Anything that I can answer, I will answer to the best of my abilities. And if I can't, I'll try to facilitate the answer with directing you to a source that I feel comfortable that can answer your questions. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show. Good day. Well, you have done it. You stuck around through this entire video and you have learned about the connections, the bloody connections, the genetic connections between each and every one of our ruling elite from the time of Julia and Julius Caesar to today. Now, here's what you've been waiting for. It seems that, of course, like I have told you folks months and months and months ago, if you will go back, I have an entire playlist on the age of Trump. Go back through that playlist when you have time, and you will find me saying over and over and over again that Donald John Trump was selected, right? He would have never, his ego being the size of it, would have never let him get into a race like this and spend the type of money that he spent without having prior knowledge that he was selected and that he was going to be the president. Okay? Go back in the Age of Trump playlist on the Anti-COINTELPRO Show from the very beginning. And yeah, I can verify in my videos and my documentation exactly what I tell you folks. That being said, our president, of course, is related to one Hillary Rotten Clinton. They are distant cousins. They are both related genetically to the Queen of England. What have I always said? Everything starts and ends with the Queen of England today. Okay? Now, they are related via John Galt, who is the son of King Edward, who is the father of Queen Elizabeth. That being said, there you go, folks. There is the connection. Here is the documentation you're looking at from the Ancestry site that researched this. Okay? Black and white. Your president, my president, Donald John Trump, is related to Hillary Clinton and is also a descendant of the mother and the brother and the father and the sister of the New World Order. Make no bones about it, our president wouldn't be there if he didn't have the right lineage. That's why he's there. That's the only reason he is there, folks. Not making any judgments. I am just telling you the facts. Now, you can take those facts where you wish. That's not saying either that this man will not be the most patriotic man of the people president that we have ever had, because that's the way it looks to me so far. I am just telling you, you know, I'm just letting you know, folks, that everything is not as it seems. And if you want to, you know, ask the deeper questions, then be prepared for the answers that you're going to receive. This is Joe Wayne with the Anti-COINTELPRO Show and InstinctForSurvival.com. Good day.